everybody, what's up? Welcome back to episode 36 of the Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you so much for your support to this point on all platforms. Subscribe if it's on YouTube, if it's on audio, follow the podcast. If you are new, leave a notification bell on so you're notified when I post an episode. Today, gonna be just NBA Finals update, as we are up to through 5 games now, and then MLB weekly recap. Outside news, I've actually hit monetization on audio, so I will be hopefully getting money from audio pretty soon. Still working out the details, but work in progress. I don't have any other further updates on the podcast. Most likely, when I have work on Tuesdays, this will be how I do episodes. Due to I have to leave 12:34. I have to be at work by 3, and I leave here around 12:34 for 12:34 train, and I don't come back till late in the morning. So when I have work, I'll be pre-recording. When I don't have work, I will do a live episode as usual. Anyways, let's get into this week's episode. So, NBA Finals, when we last left off, was even series heading to Boston. Game 3, Boston ended up winning Game 3, 116-100 to take a 2-1 series lead. Jaylen Brown with 27 points, Jason Tatum with 26, and Marcus Smart with 24 combined for 77 total points of Boston's 116 points. Game 4 went to Golden State 107-97 to even up the series. Curry scored 43 points and is now has the fifth most 30-point games in NBA Finals history with 13, behind Jordan, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant in that order. And then last night, Game 5, the Warriors won 104-94 to take a 3-2 series lead, winning that one at home. And that sets up for Game 6, which will be Thursday at 9 p.m. Will Golden State close it out in 6? And my prediction would actually be right, which I did not think would end up happening at early point of the series. Now I'm kind of hoping for it to happen, kind of not. Or will Boston force it back to San Francisco for Game 7? We will find that out on Thursday. That is the NBA Finals update. So we'll see what happens there, and we'll cover what ends up happening in the end on next week's episode. So, MLB Weekly Recap. Last Tuesday, Yadier Molina once again pitched, having a much better outing pitching. Pitching 1 inning, giving up only 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and even getting a strikeout. Also, Shane Bieber fastest to 700 career strikeouts, 93 games behind second fastest, behind Yu Darvish, who did in 87 games. Ozzie Albies' first homer, 7th of the year in 40 games on Tuesday. Christian Bethancourt, who's a catcher for the Oakland Athletics, also pitched on Tuesday. When an inning, did not give up a hit, did not give up a run, no 1 walk, no strikeouts. Kyle Schwarber had a 4-hit game on Tuesday, two RBI singles in separate occasions, and also had 2 flat-out singles, RBI doubles, not RBI singles, to help in that game. Jake Cronenworth had a 3-hit, 5 RBI game, 3-run homer, 2-run double, and a single. And Charlie Blackmon had his 1500th career hit, and in one game got his 1500th career hit. Threw out a runner at home plate to keep the game tied in the 5th on a sac fly, but also made an error in the field that basically lost the game for the Rockies in extra innings. Last Wednesday, Luis Arias, Byron Buxton, and Carlos Correa went back to back in the top of the first inning in the Twins game. DJ LeMahieu had his 100th career home run. Twins also in that same, all of this in one game, and Twins blew a 7-3 lead in a 10-7 loss to the Yankees. Ohtani had a 2-run homer with his bat went 7 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, all earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, helping the Angels end their losing streak at 14 games. Big thanks to Ohtani. And the big debacle with the whole White Sox game. Oh my, this was whack. So basically, Freddie Freeman was on first base, was on second base. So first base was open on a 1-2 count to Trey Turner. And Tony La Russa decides, you know what? I like my and this is with his explanation after the game, but I'll get to his explanation in a moment because that's a separate topic. Basically decides I like the numbers better with Muncy against the lefty. He had a lefty on the mound, Ben Souza. Then Trey Turner in a 1-2 count. So he intentionally walked Trey Turner on a 1-2 count to face Muncy instead. And Muncy ends up hitting a 3-run homer. The White Sox lost by 2 runs. Basically, no intentional walk. And let's say Turner gets out. That's a whole different story. And the worst part about it is, like, La Russa made it somewhat of a good case for reasoning, but he basically ripped the reporter apart, like, saying as if the question was dumb and stupid, which it was not. It's a fair question because everyone was just sitting there like, what are you doing? And he just literally ripped into the reporter. I hope to put the interview in the description of the episode when I upload it. So hopefully it will be in there, and if you want to see his verbal reaction with how much he ripped apart the reporter, basically, look in the description. Hopefully it will be there. Casey Mize and Andrew Kittredge both were now both needing Tommy John surgery on Wednesday, which is a tough blow. Steven Strasburg, in his first start since June 1st of 2021, went 4 2/3, giving up 8 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He actually just went back on the IL yesterday. Oakland blew a 4-run lead and gave up a 4-run 8th to lose to the Guardians. Pretty sure it was the Guardians. But either way, and Travis Swaggerty with his first major league hit of the Pirates. Last Thursday, 3-run 9th. Jose Ramirez solo home run, leadoff solo home run. Owen Miller game-tying sac fly that scored Oscar Mercado, and Luke Bailey walk-off sac fly that scored Oscar Gonzalez to help the Guardians come back to win over the Oakland Athletics. Lourdes Gurriel, George Springer solo, George Springer 2-run homer, and Bo Bichette solo all homer in the second inning, with George Springer and Bo Bichette being back-to-back in the Blue Jays game. Randy Rosarina had a solo inside the park home run on Thursday, and Vidal Brujan also in that game had his first major league home run. Jazz Chisholm had a 2-homer game on Thursday, leadoff home run in the first, and 2-run homer in the fifth. And Jesus Aguilar with a 2-homer game as well, solo home run in the first, and 2-run homer in the fifth, which both of them were basically like big parts of the wins against the Astros on that day. St. Louis scored 2 and only runs, both on throwing errors against the Reds, one by Aristides Aquino and second by Brandon Drury, to help beat the Reds. I'm pretty sure it was 2-0. Brendan Marsh had a 2-homer game, 2-run homer in the second, and a solo home run in the sixth, and his second was first home run off a lefty in his career. Oh yeah, sorry, that was last Friday, not Thursday. Oh yeah, last Wednesday, last Thursday, last Friday. Sorry, I just realized I made that mistake. And then last thing for last Friday, Jurickson Profar with the RBI triple, now with 7 straight games with an RBI. Sadly, the streak ended there, as it happened to have been a doubleheader the next day. In the first game, he did not get an RBI. Last Saturday, the Yankees had 6 solo home runs, 2 by Judge, 1 by Rizzo, Stanton, and Torres, who went back-to-back. Stanton and Torres went back-to-back, and Jose Trevino, helping the Yankees whip the Cubs 6-0. Sadly, that was not the end of the Cubs getting whipped by the Yankees. Very close in the opener. Yankees winning on a walk-off hit by Jose Trevino in the 13th inning. The next 2 games were not close, and I was at the finale because I'm working at the stand at Yankee Stadium at the Coacher stand, and it was hard to watch. I'll just leave there. Jared Walsh hit for the cycle with a single, double, solo home run, and a 2-run triple in the Angels' win over the Mets, and the first 9-game winning streak since 2011 for the Phillies that ended the next day. Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Bell went back to back. And then Gabriel Moreno hit his first major league hit in the last AB of his debut against the Tigers. Sunday, Matt Carpenter, the Cub killer. And he did it again to the Cubs, this time with the Yankees. First Yankee to have 6 home runs in his first 10 games with a 2-homer game off the Cubs in the finale as they beat down the Cubs in the finale 18-4. Adam Duvall had a 2-homer game, solo home run in the second and 2-run homer in the fourth. Brian Reynolds had a 2-run homer off former college teammate Kyle Wright from their days. They were both in Vanderbilt. Willie Adames with a 1-homer, 3 RBI game and a 4-1 Brewers win. And Ryan Mountcastle and Rougned Odor went back-to-back in the Orioles-Royals game. And then yesterday, Michael Harris II with his first career Major League home run. Kyle Stowers with his first Major League hit as an RBI double, which ended up being the one run the Orioles even scored in that game. And then Lance Lynn, first game of the year off the IL, on the IL pretty much till this point. And the first pitch he threw was a leadoff home run to Willie Castro. The White Sox ended up winning that game. Big things to Jose Abreu, 2-homer game, both 2-run homers to help the White Sox win. Cardinals came back from down 5-0 to win 7-5. Matt Moore capped off a 5-3 comeback win by Texas over Houston with his first Major League save, coming back from down 3-0 Texas. And after 6 years in minor leagues, Chris Oakey with his first Major League hit for the Reds. And that is this week's MLB. That is this week's weekly recap in regards to games. Standings update. Yankees in first place, 44-16 on a 4-game win streak, followed by the Blue Jays 36-24 on a 2-game win streak, followed by the Tampa Bay Rays on 35-25 on a 1-game win streak, followed by the Boston Red Sox 32-29 on a 1-game win streak, followed by, who at one point, by the way, were on a 7-game win streak, followed by the Baltimore Orioles 26-36 on a 1-game losing streak. AL Central standings. Minnesota in first place, 35-27 on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the Guardians 29-27 on a 1-game win streak, followed by the White Sox 28-31 on a 1-game win streak, followed by the 24-36 Tigers on a 2-game losing streak, followed by the 20-39 Royals on a 2-game losing streak. And AL West standings, the Astros in first place, 37-24 on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the 29-31 Rangers on a 3-game win streak, followed by the Angels 29-33, who as I said earlier, we're on a 14-game losing streak at one point. Now on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the 27-33 Mariners on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the 21-41 Athletics, who at one point were on a 10-game losing streak, ended this time period on a 1-game losing streak. That's AL standings. The NL standings, the Mets in first place, 40-22. On a 1-game win streak, followed by the Braves 35-27 on a 12-game winning streak as they're starting to get red hot. Look out for the Braves. Followed by the Phillies 31-30, who were on a 9-game winning streak. Still being, since they fired Joe Girardi, they ended on a 1-game win streak. Followed by the Marlins 27-32 on a 2-game losing streak. Followed by the Nationals 23-40 on a 2-game losing streak. NL Central standings. Cardinals in first place, 35-27 on a 1-game losing streak, followed by the Brewers, 34-28, who were on 1 point on an 8-game losing streak, ended on a 1-game win streak, followed by the 24-35 Pirates on a 7-game losing streak, followed by the 23-37 Cubs on a 7-game losing streak, followed by the 21-39 Reds on a 1-game winning streak. And the NL West standings update, Dodgers in first place, 37-23 on a 3-game losing streak, coming off getting swept by the San Francisco Giants. Padres 38-24 on a 1-game win streak, followed by the 3-26 Giants on a 3-game winning streak, followed by the 29-33 Diamondbacks on a 1-game win streak, followed by the 27-34 Rockies on a 2-game winning streak. That is the standings update. And then today's schedule. The Pirates and Cardinals have a doubleheader today. First game at 1:15, second game at 7:45. First game is going to be JT Brubaker for Pittsburgh, Matthew Liberatore for St. Louis, and the second game will be Bryce Wilson versus Miles Michaelis. Braves at Nationals at 7:05. Max Fried going against starter that has not been announced yet for Washington. Miami at Philly at 7:05. Trevor Rogers going for Miami. Zach Eflin going for Philly. Rays at Yankees at 7:05, which I will be working at that game tonight. Corey Kluber going for the Rays. Garrett Cole going for the Yankees. Orioles at Blue Jays at 7:07. Jordan Lyle going for Baltimore. Yusei Kikuchi going for Toronto. Oakland and Boston at 7:10 p.m. Jared Koenig going for Oakland. And Nick Pivetta going for Boston. White Sox at Tigers at 7:10. Dylan Cease going for Chicago. Drew Hutchison going for Detroit. Brewers at Mets at 7:10 p.m. Adrian Hauser going for Milwaukee. Chris Bassett going for the Mets. Padres at Cubs at 8:05. Sean Manaea going for the Padres. Kyle Hendricks going for the Cubs. Astros at Rangers at 8:40 p.m. Jose Urquidy going for Houston. Dane Dunning going for Texas. Cleveland at Colorado at 8:40 p.m. Shane Bieber going for Cleveland. Antonio Senzatella going for Colorado. Cincinnati at Arizona at 9:40 p.m. Tyler Mahle going for the Reds. Zach Davies going for the Diamondbacks. Royals at Giants at 9:45 p.m. Chris Bubick going for Kansas City. Logan Webb going for the Giants. That's a rematch of the 2014 World Series. Angels at Dodgers at 10:10. Syndergaard going for the Angels. Tony Gonsolin going for the Dodgers. And Twins at Mariners at 10:10. Joe Ryan going for the Twins. And Logan Gilbert going for the Mariners. And that is the MLB Weekly Recap. And that is this week's episode of the podcast. And by the way, I am actually in my uniform for work, as I'm going to be leaving in a bit shortly. Thank you for watching this week's episode. If you are new, subscribe down below. Leave the notification bell on so you're notified when I go live or post a video. Or in audio case, post an audio episode of the podcast. Thanks for watching and listening. I will see you next week, which I don't know what day will be, but it will be live because I don't have work again until Thursday. Just date to be figured because I'm going to be traveling this weekend. But I will see you then. Bye!